May, what's wrong? Oh, I'm so tired. Just tonight, I have Chinese politics, AP World History, Chemistry, Chinese History, Economics, AP Language Arts, and pre-calculus homework. What? Why do you have so much homework? You're only in 10th grade. Well, let me ask my dad. He can explain why in September of 2017 everything changed for me at my private nonprofit bilingual school. 爸爸，过来吧。Yes, Xiaomei. What do you need? My friend Hannah wants to know why I've got so much homework these days. Oh, well, I will have to go back a few years. In 2015, the Ministry of Education said there were over 12 million students enrolled in over 10,700 private schools throughout China. That's a lot of students who are not being strongly regulated by the government, yet they're still Chinese citizens. Many parents, like us, are wanting their children to have a bilingual education. We are hoping, Xiaomei, that you will one day go to a famous university outside of China and have many more opportunities than your mother and I had growing up here. I know, Baba, and I'm very grateful for that, but I'm tired. The pressure is really getting to me. Well, Xiaomei, this is what has happened recently. On November 7th, 2016, China adopted the amendment to the Law of Promoting the Privately Run Schools, taking effect in September of 2017. One of the reasons we've seen a tightening in restrictions is that the government has discovered many private bilingual schools just weren't abiding by the laws. The main goal of the amendment was to encourage the development and operation for private for-profit schools. And then that would make it more likely that these schools would attract non-government investment. So, in one sense, it's a money thing, but honestly, there's also a desire by the national government to have more control over what Chinese students are learning and not learning in the classroom. But Mr. Wei, at my international school, nothing has changed for us. Hannah, let me ask you, do you have any Chinese passport holders at your school? Well, no, I don't. I hadn't really thought about that before. Well, this is where the difference comes in. There are two types of private schools here, for profit and not for profit private schools. Other than finances, such as non private schools will get larger tax breaks and some preferential rates when buying state land, another big difference is the two types of schools have different students they allow to attend. For profit schools are only allowed to admit foreign passport holders. Therefore, the laws I'm about to lay out wouldn't apply to these schools. In your international school, Hannah, the government won't monitor the curricula or the tuition. But in Xiaomei's school, the government is very interested in what is going on. That makes sense. Since I'm not a Chinese citizen, they don't care as much about what I'm learning because I'm a foreigner. That's exactly right, Hannah. Xiaomei's school is different. For example, the government will manage these schools as if they were local public schools. This includes the students needing to sit for the compulsory test after ninth grade, the Zhongkao. And that will determine where, for a public school student, it will determine where they go to high school. But Xiaomei is still going to have to take it. Being in grade 10, there is also the requirement of Chinese politics, history, and geography that has to be taught by national teachers. I am not excited about the Zhongkao. I'm totally going to fail that test. Well, Xiaomei, this added curricula that you'll be taking now that you've started 10th grade with your Chinese history and geography is going to be hard because it's going to put your English curricula also at risk. You have all of these other required English courses, like your AP Language Arts or your World History, but on top of that, there will be additional Chinese requirements. This is going to make it very difficult for you to keep up. You're going to have to work hard. Like this week, I've got a million tests in 2 different languages. Oh, I need coffee. Well, also, by mandating this test in ninth grade, it's going to mean you would have had a strong Chinese language proficiency in all of your subjects in order to pass it. If you or other students had been doing your bilingual education since grade 1, it's really difficult for students to be able to have the language to take that test. With more intentional government regulation, this will most likely also censor what can be taught in the classroom. President Xi says about the universities here that they ought to be the, quote, strongholds of the party's leadership. This trickle-down effect of his thinking will also have a great impact on the kind of discussions and debates you'll be able to have in class, especially when talking about philosophy or religion. I'm sorry, Xiaomei, this is just how it will be for you. 左右为难. In English, we would say you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. But this will give you a better future, Xiaomei. Come on, girls, let's go get some ice cream. As we are going, Xiaomei, I want you to think about your teachers. Not only do they have to balance a strong English curriculum, but also figure out how to integrate the Chinese national teachers and their curricula into your day. That will give them a lot of pressure, and they'll need a lot of creativity and patience to try and balance the whole thing. Well,